In this video, I'm going to show you how I built the ultimate travel watercolor kit. The final result is actually satisfying. I'll show you how I designed it, what went wrong, how I fixed it, and all the tools you need if you want to make your own. And yes, the 3D files and tool list are in the description below. So watch until the end, because by the time this video is over, you might want to build one too. I've always loved the idea of these mini travel watercolor kits. Small, portable, ready to sketch anywhere. At least that's the promise. But once you actually use them, the problems show up fast. The clip is easy to lose. The panels feel flimsy. And somehow, even with a travel kit, you still need to pack a bunch of extra stationery before you head out. At that point, it stops feeling like a ready-to-go art kit and starts feeling like homework. And that's exactly what got me thinking. What would my own version look like if it was actually built to be ready? So now my creative brain kicks in. And the real question is, what do I want? I want something simple, elegant, and compact. Not just small for the sake of being small. I want it to actually hold the stationery I need for a watercolor session, so I can grab it and go without overthinking anything. And I also don't want to be stuck with whatever colors a random kit gives me. That's why I use my 15 years old Van Gogh watercolor pans from university. Anyway, I already love that system. I trust the paints, and it gives me way more freedom than being trapped inside a fixed layout. So, the goal becomes clear. Build a kit that fits the way I actually work. So I start in 3D modeling software and split the kit into two main parts. One for the watercolor pans, and one for the mixing wells and utility space. Then I add the magnet locations on the corners. So far, everything is normal. The real problem starts when I ask myself, how do I connect both parts together in a way that actually feels sturdy during a sketching session? My first idea is a hinge, like a book. And because my brain refuses to behave, I think, wait, what if the hinge is hollow so I can store the water brush inside it too?
Wow! I'm so smart!
After multiple tests, failed prints, and a painful amount of wasted filament, I did manage to get the hinge working, but not in a way I actually like. The main problem is that it feels a bit flimsy, and it doesn't hold the mixing tray in place the way I imagine it should. So while I'm dealing with that, I start thinking about a second issue too. How do I fix both pieces to the sketchbook without relying on the traditional clip? That's where the soft strap idea comes in. The goal of the strap is to hold the whole system onto the sketchbook page without using the usual clip setup. And technically, it works. But it kills flexibility. If I want to switch sketchbook sizes, now I need to mess with thread lengths, and the hinge still doesn't solve the stability problem the way I want. So I start thinking differently about the paper holding part too. Instead of relying on a loose, removable clip, I took the metal clipboard piece from an A4 pad and built that idea directly into the design. That way, it becomes part of the kit, not another thing waiting to get lost. Then there's the magnet issue. Even though they are strong, the two parts can still shift under side pressure. So I go back to the 3D model and start cutting ideas with zero mercy. The hinge? Gone. The old magnet layout? Also gone. First, I redesigned the magnet layout. The kit has two corners use magnets, while the other corners become male and female alignment connections. That makes the whole thing much sturdier. Then I still need the real solution. How do both parts lock together properly? And that's when I land on the sliding mechanism, inspired by the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con connection. After more testing, support cleanup, and a few more rounds of suffering, I finally got it, a connection that is sturdy, easy to print, and ridiculously satisfying to use. Last but not least, I added a home for my stationery within the kit and holes on the sides of each panel to insert and glue the elastic soft thread which will hold our pens. Now it's time to put everything together. I print the final version in PLA using a marble texture filament because I want the kit to feel a bit more premium than a standard plastic print. For the magnets, I use 10mm magnets. Then I start loading the kit with the things I actually want to use. For the paints, I use my old Van Gogh watercolor pans from university because I already love that pan system and I don't want to be locked into random fixed colors. For the eraser, I use a small piece of kneadable eraser since it's easy to shape and doesn't leave debris everywhere. I also add a small sponge, and for water, I use a tiny refillable perfume sample spray tube which fits perfectly and does the job. The pen holders also make it into the final version, so now the kit can actually carry more of the tools I need in one setup. And one detail that really improves the experience, I coat the mixing wells with UV resin. That makes the surface much smoother, easier to clean, and just way nicer to use overall. So by the end, this stops feeling like a printed prototype and starts feeling like a real watercolor system. Now it's time for the real test, because no matter how nice something looks on the desk, it only matters if it works in an actual sketching moment. So I take it outside to my balcony and test it with one of the best views I could ask for. From here, I can see the beautiful Saadiyat skyline with its unique museums and landmarks sitting there like a sketch just waiting to be drawn. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of moment I built this kit for. Quick setup, everything in one place, no friction, just open it, lock it, and paint. If you're watching from the UAE, let me know in the comments which Saadiyat attraction is your favorite. And if you're watching from anywhere else, tell me what feature you would add to this kit and what system I should design next. This whole project starts with one simple frustration. So instead of waiting for the perfect version to exist, I build one. And honestly, that's the real point of this video. It's the mindset behind the idea. Don't wait for the perfect tool. Build your own system. Make the thing that fits the way you work. Make the thing that removes friction. Make the thing that actually feels like yours. That's where the fun begins. So if you enjoyed this build, support the channel, grab the STL if you want to print your own, and tell me what I should design next.